So first of all, I would like to begin this training session with an introduction of yourselves. So the reason for having this intro is like I would like to understand your current skill set and like what is your area of interest and what are the things that you're looking from SailPoint IIQ point of view. So that going forward, when we start our training sessions, the trainings will be delivered as per the inputs I received from your introductions. Okay. So we will get started with that introduction first, and we'll go one by one. So can we get started with Amia?
Hi Kalyan.
Hi.
So I have experience in the SailPoint IIQ administration,
Hmm.
and I'm currently looking forward for learning the development part.
Okay, understood. So how many years of experience you have in SailPoint IAQ?
It's around 2 years.
2 years. Okay, and how familiar you are with Java?
Not much. I know the basics.
Okay, so basics in the sense you are familiar with OOPS concepts,
I don't have experience.
object-oriented programming.
Means I know the theoretical part, but I don't have the industry level experience. I never done coding in industry level,
Hmm.
but I
Okay,
do have.
understood.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. Thank you. Thanks for that information.
Yeah.
So we will go ahead with Anil. And when you are giving your intro, like please let me know whether you are a student or a working professional. And if you are a working professional, let me know what is the stream of work you are doing and how much level of knowledge you have with respect to SailPoint IIQ. And also like how familiar you are with Java. Okay, please give me these 2 points especially. So Anil, you can proceed.
Kalyan, Anil from a consultancy. So let's go further.
Okay, fine. So Rishikesh, can you please go ahead?
Hey, hi, this is Rishikesh. I'm basically into the data security and I'm looking this course for my daughter. So she has
Mhm.
an exam, so I'm appearing this. I mean, I'm going this particular course. So
Mhm.
she's right now in the final year of BCA, Bachelor of
Okay.
Computer Application in Pune.
Mhm.
And she has a very good experience in Java, Python. She's doing very good. And she has
Okay.
completed Savian training and also non-human identity.
Mhm.
So I'm just looking for this particular course because SailPoint and Savient are in the top in the industry. So
Yes.
once you complete this course, to have some internship and then a full-fledged career in this.
Understood. Got it. Thank you, Rishikesh.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So Lavan, can you please go next?
Hi, I'm a QA engineer. I don't have any SailPoint background or I know basics, very basics of Java, but
Mhm.
I don't have any working experience as of a coding or anything like that. I don't
Okay.
have it. So yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can transit into a new technology from QA.
Okay, understood. So QA in the sense like particularly you are using any tool or you are working on testing of any particular product?
Yeah, I am into healthcare industry. I have some all these HIPAA related,
Mhm.
claims processing, claim adjudication concepts is what my
Okay.
domain is. Yeah.
Mhm. Got it, Lavan. Got it. Thank you. Thanks for that information. And can we go ahead with Shubhangi?
Hi, myself Shubhangi Shende. I'm working as a quality engineer and I don't have any coding experience. I just know the basics,
Mhm.
but no like hands-on experience on anything.
Okay.
And I want to grow my career in this like industry. So that is the reason I'm here.
Got it. Thanks for the info. And can we go with Tejaswini next?
Yeah, hi Kalyan. I'm Tejashwini. and have a 4 years experience on SailPoint IAQ as
Mhm.
a administrator, and I don't have any coding experience. So I just wanted to learn the development part of SailPoint.
Okay, understood.
Mm.
Got it. Thank you. And we have Vignesh.
Hi, Kalyan. So myself, Vignesh, and my overall experience in IT industry is 9 years. So
Mhm.
currently, my designation is an IAM engineer, and I was into IAM domain for the past 7 years, and I was working in the tools like Windows Active Directory and Microsoft Entra ID. And
Mhm.
since my firm, they have some new projects upcoming for SailPoint. So I have
Mhm.
been started practicing with the versions 8.2 in my local machine, and I know
Okay.
few concepts like application onboardings and uh, this I mean this policy certifications, those things, no, like administrations works, I'm aware of those, Kalyana, and also I'm, going forward to, to learn the development part also, and out of, for learning, for Java I would rate myself with 5 out of 2, Kalyan.
Okay. You mean to say 2 out of 5?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, you have any hands-on experience?
No, I don't have,
So,
because recently, we have been migrating the work. I mean, the ticketing tool earlier we was using as a Savient, and now we have been migrated to SailPoint. So I
mhm.
was into a part of that project,
Okay.
and this migration work I've been doing, Kalyan.
Okay, understood. Got it. Thanks, Vignesh. Thanks for the information. And I think we have one another participant, IGMB. Uh, can you please provide your intro?
Yes, hi. Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, I work as a DevOps engineer, and then I got laid off, and then I decided to transition to uh, cybersecurity, especially in uh, IAM. But when I was working as a DevOps engineer, I used to work with different IAM tools, also like Fork. So I decided to police that. Um, I would like to learn how SailPoint is working and more about it, so I can get a new job as a SailPoint engineer.
Yeah, got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Okay, yes. Thank you so much for providing your introduction. So I will introduce myself. So this is Kalyan, and I have around 9+ years of experience in IAM domain completely, and I have 4+ years of experience in training people on SailPoint IAQ and in other IAM tools. So with that being said, let's quickly run into like what we will be learning in this particular SailPoint IAQ training and who are the target audience for us. Okay. So for learning SailPoint IIQ in through this training session, so the prerequisites is like nothing. So if you are a fresher, you don't have any knowledge on IAM domain, you don't have any knowledge on SailPoint IIQ tool, so that is completely fine. We will teach everything right from basics. So right from the business scenarios, right from the general understanding of what this tool is, what we are exactly trying to do, to the technical implementation of the each and every component of SailPoint IAQ, like we will look into it. Okay. And how long this course will be. So this is an beginner friendly SailPoint IAQ course, and we will cover the administration part, development part, and even the testing part also through this training. And the course duration will be somewhere between 25 to 30 hours. Okay. So within this 25 to 30 hours, like we'll take some real-time business scenarios and we will implement those scenarios through our SailPoint IIQ. Okay. And what what are the things that you will be getting as a part of this training? Okay. So as a part of this training, so you will have the 25 to 30 hours of SailPoint IIQ related content delivered to you, and you will also get the recordings of those sessions. So whatever maybe the sessions we'll be having, right? So you will get those recordings, and also you will set up an local lab. It's not like when we are learning SailPoint, we will learn the concepts theoretically. Each and every concept that we'll be learning with SailPoint, we will be implementing it in our own lab setup. So we will provide you all the installers and supporting files for setting up your local lab, and we will practice each and every component in our local lab setup. Okay, along with that, so you will be getting the recordings, you'll be getting the installers, and we will provide you some MCQ questions. We will provide you sample interview questions. Okay, and we will also provide some learning material for your future learnings of SailPoint IA. Okay, so these are the outcomes that you will be getting from this training. Okay, and next to this, what are the different job roles that are available in SailPoint IIQ? So once you learn SailPoint IIQ, so where we will end up? So what kind of job opportunities are available for us? So if we look into this, the first and common job that is available is SailPoint IIQ support role. Okay, so this is the normal BAU support role that we are aware of. So for doing this support role, we will have the minimal product knowledge. So in order to navigate through the UI and in order to use which tools that are available, and let's suppose if you want to troubleshoot something or if something is breaking in the system, so we need to investigate and provide the information, right? So SailPoint IIQ support role is the basic one that we will be getting. So once you are into SailPoint IIQ, and for doing the support role, you just need the product knowledge. So that's it. There is no coding required, no sophisticated any other technologies are required. Okay. So next to SailPoint IIQ support, we have SailPoint, SailPoint IIQ administrators. And along with administrators, we have also business analyst roles available in SailPoint IIQ. So if the implementation scale of the project is very high, so we have dedicated business analysts available, and we also have SailPoint administrators available. So in order to be an SailPoint administrator or developer, you must and should have the basic understanding of our SailPoint IIQ product. Okay. Along with the product understanding, we need to have some domain knowledge, and also we need to have some business knowledge. So business knowledge in the sense, like when you implement SailPoint IIQ, we will be implementing it for different customers. Okay. So we not only need to have the knowledge of SailPoint IIQ, but we also need to understand which business scenario we are implementing this project is for. Okay. So understanding that business scenario and transforming that business requirements into the technical information of SailPoint IIQ. So that particular knowledge is required when you want to become a SailPoint IIQ administrator and SailPoint IIQ business analyst. Okay. So business knowledge along with the SailPoint IIQ technical knowledge is required for the SailPoint IIQ administrators or business analysts. So this is one of the roles that are available. So next to this, we have SailPoint IIQ developers, or we also call them as implementation engineers. So this is the most demanded role in the market with respect to SailPoint IIQ. Okay, if you want to become a SailPoint developer, so you not only need to have SailPoint IIQ knowledge, you also need to have Java knowledge. Okay, so this SailPoint IIQ uses an scripting language called Bean Shell script. So this Bean Shell script is nothing but a Java-based scripting language. Okay, it looks like Java 99%. So if you know Java, it's as good as you already know Bean Shell script. It is just that we need to know what is the difference and how to use it. Okay, so if you want to become an implementation engineer and if you want to become a developer, obviously you need to have clear-cut understanding of SailPoint IIQ. You need to know the product, its features, how to use everything. You need to be aware, and along the side, so for doing customizations and all, you need to have Java knowledge. And when I say Java, we need not to have advanced Java knowledge and all. So basic SailPoint, basic Java knowledge. It means like how to use variables, how to use loops, how to use OOPS concepts, like how to define a method, how to call a method. Only this much of knowledge is sufficient enough. And when we take the next topics in the collections framework also, if you are aware of set, list, maps, so that should be sufficient enough. We need not to deep dive into any advanced concepts of SailPoint IAQ. Okay, and also we need not to deep dive into any of the in-depth concepts of Java, especially. Okay, multi-threading, so uh, streams, all this knowledge is not basically required. So the basic knowledge is sufficient enough if you want to become an SailPoint IAQ developer. Okay, and next to this developer, nowadays we also have a dedicated testing role, and we call them as quality analysts. So nowadays, when the implementation scale is huge for the project, we are having dedicated testers for SailPoint IAQ alone. So what these testers need to have? So they must be familiar with any of the testing tools. So if they have any knowledge on automation testing, then that is an added advantage. But still, like if you know manual testing, that is also fine. You need to know how to use SailPoint IAQ, what are the different concepts available and how to test it. And you must be very much familiar with writing test cases, executing test scenarios, all these things. Okay. So if you learn SailPoint IIQ, these are the different roles in which you can get into. And depending on your interest, depending on your skill set, you can pursue any one of these positions when you are familiar with SailPoint IIQ. And to get into any of these positions, so the basic tool knowledge is required. So it's a mandatory thing. So that is what we will be learning in our training session. And it is not just the basic tool knowledge that we learn. So we also learn about the customizations, I mean the development part also. Okay. So whatever may be the concepts that we will learn through this training session, so we will be providing you the course content separately. Okay, after this demo session, we will be sharing that course content PDF. So you can go through this and you can understand the different concepts that we'll be learning through this training session. Okay. So till this part, do you have any questions or any doubts?
Just a quick question. The SailPoint IIQ administrator, as you mentioned, point number 2, does it require any coding or something like that, or
No,
just the overall knowledge of tool?
no. Oh, tool knowledge is sufficient enough. Tool knowledge, and you need to have the business knowledge.
Business knowledge. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
For
Thank you.
example,
Uh-huh.
if you take any product, not just SailPoint IAQ, you take any software. So basically, why that software is used by any person or any organization. So basically, it is used to help them. So to speed up the process or to make the things efficient like that. Similarly, when we are implementing SailPoint IAQ, so there is a purpose for that. So when the organization is using this tool, so there is a purpose. So we need to understand that purpose so that we can implement the tool in such a way that that purpose is met. So that is what the business knowledge that we are talking about. So
Okay,
that
got
understanding must be there.
okay, got it. Thank you.
Yes.
And for the labs, how are we going to do the labs? You said local lab setup. What does
Yes.
it mean?
It means, so we will be providing you the installer. So in your personal laptop, you will install our SailPoint IAQ. You will completely set up the environment of SailPoint IAQ in your personal laptop. And whatever may be the real-time scenarios for which we use SailPoint IAQ, we will be doing those scenarios. We'll be implementing those scenarios in your local lab. So what all may be the supporting softwares or what all may be the supporting files, codes, and documents that is required for your local setup, so that we will be providing to you as a part of this training.
So we are doing it on using SailPoint to tool itself.
Correct.
Okay, but is it a licensed or anything that we need to?
For enterprises, it's a licensed one. Okay, so for practice purpose, it is not licensed. I mean, at least like SailPoint will not be charging us for the practice sessions and all. So if you want to use it for enterprise level, then we may need to go for license. And
Okay.
the other softwares that we'll be using, right? So mostly we will be using open source softwares only, which are free of cost. We will not go for any licenses because we are just at learning stage, and I know like we cannot afford the licenses and all, and there is no need of it also. So without licenses also we can learn. So that is what we'll be doing through this training.
I mean, you mean it's a SailPoint tool itself that we are doing practice, or it's like something like maybe AWS or IAM concepts that is what we are doing on
So it
AWS?
is not just SailPoint IIQ. We will be using some other softwares as well. So it is not AWS or anything else, but like some databases, I can say. Let's say your Oracle database or MS SQL database. Those kind of databases we'll be using for our learning purpose. And even those databases also, you have enterprise editions and we have community editions also. So mostly for our lab setup, we will be using the community editions, which are free of cost. So what I can say in simple terms is for the lab setup or for learning SailPoint IAQ, apart from the training fees that you are paying, you need not to spend any other money extra. Everything we will try to learn at free of cost. Got it? Only you will be paying for this training. Softwares and all, you need not to pay anything, that we will be helping you with that.
Okay, thank you.
And any questions further?
I'm good.
Okay, thanks for confirming. Okay, so let's get started with the actual contents of our SailPoint IAQ. Okay, so before beginning the training, so I would like to tell you the approach that I will be following throughout this training. So this complete training is created in a structured manner. Okay, so we carefully analyzed what topics needs to be explained to give good understanding of the tool, and we also analyzed how each and every topic needs to be explained. For example, if we are taking up a single topic, we will not dump all the information in one go. So wherever it is relevant and wherever it makes more sense and where it is very easy for the audience to understand, we have carefully analyzed and the topics are organized in such a way. Okay. And to begin with, first we will try to understand what the SailPoint IIQ tool is. Okay. And once we got to understand our IIQ tool, then first of all, we would like to understand the global scope of it. It means we will try to understand where this tool is used and what is the purpose of this tool and what is the reason for using this tool, all these things. First, we will go with a general approach. So SailPoint IIQ is not the only tool available in the market. So there are multiple tools. So what all these tools are meant for? And then after they're discussing the general scope, okay, then we will deep dive into the product specific explanations. Okay, first it will be like at the high level, we'll talk about the general concepts. Then slowly we will deep dive into the actual product going forward. Okay, so that is how the course has been structured, and we will go with this pattern. Okay, so with that being said, let's get started with the first topic. What is this SailPoint IIQ basically? What is this? What is SailPoint IIQ? And we know we all are here to learn SailPoint IIQ. What is this actually and why we need to learn it and where exactly this is used? And one more point, it is not often one-on-one sessions. Okay, it is not like the trainer will be telling you and you will be listening. It will be more often like I need in people's involvement. Okay, so I always believe learning is mutual. Everyone have some knowledge, and through the knowledge sharing, we will learn a lot. Okay, so let's make it more interactive, and you need not to hesitate and you need not to worry about anything. Whatever you are aware, speak it and put it to everyone. So either we will learn from others. Let's suppose if we have any misunderstandings with our learning, we will get it correct. Okay, so that's how it will be. So I want more of your participation. Okay, I want you speak. You people also speak. Okay, whenever chance comes for you. Okay. So I know some of you already have knowledge on SailPoint IIQ. You already worked on it, but let's try to understand what is your point of view when we say what is SailPoint IIQ.
It is identity management tool for the
Well
company.
said.
If we have different
Uh,
identities, it will
Identity
manage.
management tool.
Yeah,
Okay, for the companies.
yeah.
Very good point for companies. Got it. You almost covered it. And any other point of views? Any other
Yeah, it is
perceptions on this?
identity management and identity governance and best practices, how to manage and implement all the access
Hmm.
permissions
Yes.
in a company to different users.
Access permissions. Correct.
Effective management of user
Hmm.
access and permissions through
Right.
a appropriate governance.
Effective management of users and their access. Right. Understood. And any other
So
definitions?
basically management of complete like controlled and uncontrolled access. So controlled is if you're in organization or company,
Hmm.
uncontrolled is if you're doing a hybrid, like work from home and all.
Hmm. This is the new term that I'm using, but good. Controlled and uncontrolled access. Okay. So controlled access in the sense like when you're working in the organization, uncontrolled in the sense like when you work from home. So is it what you mean?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, got it. So this is interesting. Let's talk more about it. Yeah. So any other perceptions before? Okay. So let me put my definition. So it is similar to what you have said, but it's my perspective. So when we say SailPoint IIQ, it is an identity and access management tool. It's a tool. Okay, at the end of the day, it's a product, it's a tool. So it's an identity and access management tool. So this is what we used to say previously, but as the domain is expanding, we are telling more of an identity access management tool. It's an identity governance tool. Identity governance and administration. Administration tool. Both will be same. But previously, this is the definition we used to have identity and access management tool. Nowadays, to be more precise, we are calling it as IGA tool, identity governance and administration tool, from a company called SailPoint. Okay, which is used to solve enterprise IAM problems. Okay. So SailPoint IIQ, it's an identity and access management tool. You call it as IAM tool or you call it as IGA tool. So whatever it is, at the end of the day, it's a product. It's a tool. From which company the tool is from? It is from a company called SailPoint. So whenever you say the term SailPoint, it is not the tool that you are referring. Okay, it is the name of the company. For example, when you take Oracle, Oracle is the company. So this Oracle is featuring wide range of products. It has databases, it has some ETA tools, right? It has IAM tools also. So when you say Oracle is the organization. So if you want to talk about the database that is offered by Oracle, like we need to particularly mention the database name, Oracle DB, something like that. So similarly, when you say the term SailPoint, it is the organization that is offering this product, and the name of the product is IIQ. So what is IIQ again? What is the full form of IIQ? It is called Identity IQ. So the name of the product is SailPoint IIQ, or it is also called SailPoint Identity IQ. It means, so we are dealing with identities, right? So it is saying we are dealing with these identities intelligently. IQ stands for intelligence quotient, so which is basically used to measure the smartness. Okay, so they are trying to signify that we are going to solve or deal with identities in a smarter way. So that's why the product is named as Identity IQ. It is not only the Identity IQ that is offered by SailPoint. SailPoint also have some other products as well. So they have something called ISC, they have something called NERM. These are the different products that the SailPoint is offering. So among them, one of the products is Identity IQ. Okay, so this is what we are going to learn. So going forward, whenever you say the term, so wherever it is, be it for our learning or within your organization, when you say the term SailPoint, always remember you're referring the company. So when you say IIQ or Identity IQ, then only you mean to say a particular tool. Okay. So this is the tool from SailPoint IIQ company, and it's an IGA or IAM tool. And what is the purpose of this tool? Which is used to solve enterprise IAM problems. Okay. So as I was saying previously, you take any software, okay, that exists today. Every software is basically present to solve certain kind of problems. Okay. So to take an example, let's take a bank. Okay. So without technology, previously, how we used to perform any transactions or any communications with the bank? So we directly have to go and visit the bank, be it creating an savings account, or be it if you want to deposit money to your account, you want to withdraw money from your account, or you want to transfer some money from one account to another account, or even if you want to check your balance, you need to physically visit the bank. You have to provide your hard copy of your passbook, which contains your account number. So someone have to enter the details and they will let you know. So what are maybe the transactions that you want to do? So some person will be used to do it. So which is a lot of time consuming process, and it involves a lot of human efforts also. So you need to visit the bank, wait in the queue, like when your turn comes, like you have to get the job done. But with the advent of technology, we made the same process easy. So nowadays, in order to perform any banking operations, you need not to go and visit the bank physically. So from your fingertips, you can control what needs to be done with your bank account. So you can transfer funds, right? And you can check your balance, you can create your savings accounts, everything you can do on tip of your fingerprints through some application called internet banking. So the main purpose of the internet banking application is to make this communication and to make this transactions simple, fast, reliable, and without less human involvement, right? So similarly, for SailPoint IIQ, there is some purpose. So there are some problems that the organizations have faced. So in order to solve those problems, the SailPoint IIQ has been developed. So what those problems are, we will be talking about it more depth going forward. Okay. And also we are telling it is used to solve enterprise IAM problems. And here we also need to understand the scope. So someone already said that. So it is for companies. And this is the same term I'm using. So instead of calling company, I'm using the term enterprise. Okay, so both are same. So what do we mean by this? It is only used by companies. For example, if you take an internet banking application, who is the end user of that application? The customers of the bank. Okay. And at the same time, for the employees of the bank, there will be a dedicated software. There will be a separate software for the employees. For example, if a bank employee is there, or a cashier is there, so they have a different application, they have different interface, they will operate, they will do the different functions, but the features offered to the end user are different. Similarly, the SailPoint IAQ is not for any personal use. Okay, it is only meant for the organizations, only for the companies. So if you take your Gmail, Gmail can be used in two ways. It can be used for personal use, and it can be used for organizations for business purpose also. But the SailPoint Identity IQ, it will never be helpful for end users. and it is also not there for handling any of the identity and access management related details for the end users. It is only for the organizations. Okay. And this also we will understand, like when we say the enterprise or company, what exactly we mean. So we will also understand it deep dive going forward. Okay. So for now, when we say SailPoint IIQ, it's a product from a company called SailPoint, and that product is an IAM product, which is used to solve some enterprise problems. Okay. Now let's try to understand what do we mean by IAM.
One question.
Yeah, please.
You mentioned IGA and IAM. So what is the basic
Mm-hmm.
difference between that? And does it
Yes,
also include PIM, PAM,
yes,
RBAC,
yes.
ABAC?
That's what we are going to discuss next.
Okay. Okay.
So we are going to have this topic, right? What is IAM? So at this point, I will explain the difference. Okay, right. Okay. So now let's try to understand what is IAM. At least what is the full form of IAM?
Identity
Identity
access management.
Oh, identity and access
access.
management.
Management.
Okay. So what is this IAM, or what is this identity and access management?
So
So in
Can I?
general,
managing,
Okay.
giving
yeah.
right set of access to the right people at the right time. Kannan.
Okay. A right set of access to a right set of people at right time. Correct. So is it what we mean by identity and access management? Okay, so any other point of views on this?
So
Yeah,
basically,
managing,
it provides the secure environment for users and data.
Correct. It is used for providing secure environment. Right. So that is the purpose of it. And any other thoughts?
yeah, it's
Sorry.
identifying and authorizing the access to the
Identifying and
users.
authorizing access. Okay, right. So all the terminologies that we had, that applies to our IAM, but we clearly need to understand where exactly it applies. Okay. For example, when we are learning SailPoint IAQ, Identity IQ, obviously it's an IAM tool. So when we say IAM tool, are we under the cybersecurity domain?
Yes.
Yes.
Obviously, right? So we are under cybersecurity. So this IAM, which stands for Identity and Access Management, it is one of the subdomains of cybersecurity. Okay. So I'm trying to put the scope. So we fall under cybersecurity, and in cybersecurity, there are a lot of domains. For example, we have ethical hacking. We have something called VAPT, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. We have something like DLP, data loss preventions. We have something called network security, right? So all are different types of domains that are in cybersecurity. So when we say cybersecurity, it means protecting the digital assets of the organization, right? And the digital assets can be attacked in different ways. The attack could happen at the network level, or the attack could happen at the application level, right? Or the attack could happen at physical level. So at the different levels, the threats are there. So we need to secure it at those levels. So when we say network security, the security is provided at network level, the traffic level. Similarly, at the identity and access management, we will provide security to some level, to some extent. So we will see like what is the extent and all. So for now, we can understand this identity and access management is one of the subdomains of cybersecurity. And this subdomain basically operates using certain principles. So when we are implementing this domain, so when we are under this cybersecurity domain, we will have certain rules and conditions and certain principles that we follow. So principles in the sense like what is the end goal you want to achieve? So what is our purpose or what is our motive? Okay. So some of the principles include this one, right set of access to right set of people at right time. So this is one of the principles which we are trying to implement through our IAM domain. So when you are into IAM, so through this implementation, so this is what we are trying to achieve. Okay. And there are few other like specific terminologies, something like least privilege. And we have something called zero trust. We have something called data integrity. And when we take any complaints related things, so those definitions also goes in. But to keep it simple and very basic, I'm just telling, so these are the core principles of your IAM domain, which we will implement. Okay, so what do we mean by this least privilege? So here we have a clue, a right set of access. So any idea about this least privilege?
So provide whatever is least required for a particular individual or a process, not
Mm,
more than that particular, I mean, entitlement.
exactly. Okay, exactly right. So when you say least privilege, the minimum amount of access that is required for an individual to carry forward his work. For example, if you're a developer, you have certain work, you have certain scope of work. If you are a manager, you have certain scope of work, right? So whatever may be the role you are in, whatever may be the minimum access that is required to do all the necessary jobs for your role. So the access should be in such a way that you should not get more than what is required, and it's not like you should get less than what is required. Okay, so only the balance must be achieved. So that is what is called least privilege. So to understand it more better, so we are trying to achieve some balance, right? So what happens if you don't achieve the balance? For example, you have access more than what is required. So what is the consequence of it?
There
So
can be a data abuse, data exploitation, and you might fail the
misuse.
audit.
Misuse will be there, right? Obviously, for example, I'm a support engineer. So I do have a database and I'm supposed to have read-only access on the database. So what happens if I have read and write access? Obviously, I can go ahead and manipulate the data, all right? So the undesired operation can be done and data misuse will be there. Like what if I delete the entire database? Data loss is there and obviously it has its own consequences. Business loss will be there, reputation loss will be there, all these things will be there. Okay. And on the other hand, suppose I'm supposed to have read-only access on the database, but I don't have the access. I don't have read-only access. So what is the consequence of it? I cannot do my day-to-day job. So whatever may be the purpose for which I have been hired, I cannot do it because I don't have enough access. So through this least privilege, we will provide only the minimum access that is required to carry forward day-to-day job. So thereby we are avoiding the misuse of access, having over like more than what is required, and also by restricting the user have less access so that he will do his minimum job. Okay, so next to this we have something called zero trust. So what do we mean by zero trust? Okay, so when we say zero trust, it means we need to have control over each and every process that we will implement. For example, if I go ahead and request for write access on the database, is it like just because I requested, so they will provide the access? No. So if the request is made, it needs to be verified and it needs to be approved. So if a person is asking for something, we are not directly trusting that person. So we have controls in place. We have authority on top of each and every access that we are providing. through that authoritative control only we are providing the access. Okay, so this way we will have the zero trust implemented. It means through any possible way we are trying to avoid the risk. Okay, we are trying to avoid the access issues. Okay, so this is zero trust. And next to this zero trust, we have something called data integrity. So when we say data integrity, so we have to make sure only authorized person have access to the data and only the authorized personnel can manipulate the data. So thereby we are preventing data loss or data manipulation. Okay, so this is what we mean by data integrity. So all these are some of the principles that we implement through our IAM domain. So it means as a part of our cybersecurity subdomain. So these are the principles that we follow. We call them as the basic thumb rules also. So when you implement your SailPoint IAQ tool, indirectly you will be following all these principles and we will be implementing these principles. Okay. So for now, I can say it's an subdomain of cybersecurity, which is majorly meant for providing the security to organization at the access level. We are not providing security at like network level or any other place. We are providing the security at access level. Okay, so that is what we will be doing throughout our like implementation scenarios. Okay, and we have this question also. When we are calling it as IAM, Identity and Access Management tool, and we are also calling it as IGA tool. So previously, within our cybersecurity, IAM was the subdomain, Identity and Access Management. So this was the initial subdomain that is available under our cybersecurity domain. But even within this identity and access management, it is expanding widely. So there are new concepts coming in, there are new ways of providing the security, and there are new challenges coming in also. So because of this, so the domain has been expanding. Okay, so this IAM domain is little new. It is not an legacy one, it's an evolving one, a freshly developing domain. Okay, so everything we used to manage under identity and access management previously. But as the domain is expanding, we have again divided the identity and access management into two ways, IGA, PAM. And nowadays, within this, we have something called non-human identity is also coming, non-human identity management. This is also evolving as another smaller part. But for now, we can consider it as two ways, IGA and PAM. So when we say IGA, it is called Identity Governance and Administration. It means it is more of what we do with respect to the identities, their associated access and all. And we have something called PAM, Privileged Access Management. So for normal users, we deal with access, but if there are any admin level of access, so there are different mechanisms to handle them. So the approach we follow for handling the privileged access is different from the approach we follow for managing normal access. So that's why we have separate tools and we have separate a part of our IAM, which is nothing but PAM. Okay, so this way, IGA and PAM and non-human identity management for access management, we have SSOs, and also these are all the parts of our IAM domain. So initially it was a single one, but as the complexity is increasing or as the challenges are developing, so the same one has been developed into subparts. And in each part, we are following our own strategies, our own principles or best practices to provide the security in a better way. Okay. So this is the major difference between IAM and IGA. So we can call IGA as a subpart of IAM. So is it clear now? Are you able to understand it?
Yeah, yeah. And what is a PIM?
What is what?
PIM, PIM.
Privileged identity management. So that is mostly used for like providing
It's a part of
multi-level
IGA?
authentication. Yes, of
It's a
course.
part. Okay.
So again, like for login purpose, we have SSOs and also again that altogether takes a separate part. Okay. But for now, the major area of focus for us is IGA. So because the SailPoint IAQ tool that we are going to learn falls under IGA part. Okay, and even it is also very huge, the IAM domain. So if you go to IGA itself, we have multiple tools and we have a number of things. And if you go to PAM, we have multiple tools and their strategies, everything differs. Even if you want to like step into each and every part, so that's again difficult. So we have to take one thing at a time, learn, understand it, master it, then we can go for the next one. So if you take all the things at a time, like it will be confusing. Even people who are experts in PAM, when they get into IGA, so it looks and sounds completely new for them. So what I request is focus on one thing at a time, but at least you know the difference. So what is IGA, what is IA? So these are the subcomponents. IGA is a part of IAM, we can say. Okay, and the particular SailPoint IAQ tool that we are going to learn, it comes under IGA. Got it? Any doubts or any questions here?
No.
Okay. So basically, we are not yet done with the discussion of what is this IAM. Okay. We also further need to understand clearly what this IAM means, but in the interest of time, so I'm going to stop this session here for today, and I will continue the rest of the discussion from tomorrow's session. So we have more in-depth explanation about this IAM, what exactly we mean, what is the meaning of each and every term that we'll be discussing. But my way of like teaching is at the end of the session and at the beginning of the sessions. So I will leave some gap for discussions, and I will leave that gap we will use for discussion and also for questions and answers. Okay. So that's why like being conscious of time. So I'm stopping the session 5 minutes ahead just to have that quality time for further discussions. Okay. And if you have any questions, you can ask at the beginning or end. And if you have any questions, feel free to stop at any time during the explanation and you can raise your questions. Okay. So for now, like I am stopping the session here. And I know like we have not covered much of the topics, but believe me, we will learn the concepts clearly. Okay, we will not rush. The main goal is to have a clear understanding. And also, my main intention in delivering this training is it is not like you are learning the tool blindly. So you clearly need to understand the purpose of it, how to use it, and what are the capabilities that we have. So going forward, let's suppose if a new challenge comes to you, if it is something that you have not done before also, you have all the knowledge and you have all the tools sufficient enough to handle that scenario. Okay, so that is how the planning has been designed. Okay, so that's why like it may take little time, it may take more explanation, but it helps you to understand the product thoroughly. In a 360-degree point of view, you will understand the product. Okay, so I'm stopping the session here for today, and I'm open for questions. And I know like technically we have not discussed much, but if you have any doubts outside the scope of the technical discussion, if you have any doubts on the domain level, or if you have any doubts on the course, also you can ask.
Part of this
Yes,
course, we also learn Java.
Yes, as I mentioned, we have different types of opportunities, right? We have support role, admin role, business analyst role, testing role, and all. So if you are into any of this, you need not to learn Java, but you, with the tool knowledge, you can manage. But if you want to become an SailPoint developer, Java knowledge is must. And as I mentioned again, you need not to be an expert in Java, understanding each and every advanced concept. So core concepts are sufficient enough. Oops is sufficient enough. Okay, so that basic knowledge is sufficient enough in order to become a developer in SailPoint.
Yeah, but that basic Java will be covered in this course, or we need to
No,
learn outside of this course?
no. It's a prerequisite. So you need to learn outside it. But we will be teaching you the code things and all, which are specific to SailPoint IIQ. So the general Java is not taught here. So it's a prerequisite. You have to learn outside the scope of this training. Because if you include Java also, even to teach the basics, it takes minimum of 10 hours. And the timeline that we are taking, right? So for learning the tool itself, like this 25 to 30 hours is not sufficient enough. Again, if we add up Java, then again it extends. So no one will sit for like 40, 50 hours to learn this. So that's why like we are not including Java. So it is expected like you already have the basics, but we will be teaching you the Java that is meant for SailPoint IAQ.
So, Kalyan, can you list down the concepts of Java which are required as a prerequisite for this training?
Yes, I can do that. So you want to have it in the chat, or can I note it down here if that is sufficient?
Yeah, you can note down and then you can push it in the chat, please.
Yeah, I'm noting it down. So you need to clearly aware about the variables concepts, how to use the loops and all, how to use conditional statements. You must be able
These are
to
all
write
the
simple
prerequisite,
logics.
right? These are the
Yes,
prerequisites. Okay, great.
yes. Oops concepts you must be aware. And on top of that, for collection, you must have knowledge about list, set, map. So this should be sufficient enough. And if you are familiar with try catch, basically exception. So this should be sufficient enough. And when I say the OOPS concepts, it covers about class, object, methods, and all.
Okay.
So this knowledge is sufficient enough.
So,
You can
Kalyan,
put it in the chat as well.
yeah, so Kalyan, one question. See, when you're going to teach us this particular, training, are
Mhm.
we going to actually go that how to write a code for which is going to be used by SailPoint for providing the access, that
Yes,
entire code, and we can do that in the lab also, which you have mentioned.
yes, correct. I will be giving the sample code also.
Okay. And what about the certification? I mean, once we do this particular course, are we capable enough to give the certification exams, or are there any different certifications like basic, advanced, which you were mentioning?
Actually, there are different types of certifications in SailPoint. Okay, so 1 minute, let me stop. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I was not able to stop. Okay, so when you talk about the certifications, first of all, in order to sit for the certification exam, you need to have the SailPoint IAQ knowledge. And even there are three different types of certifications in IAQ alone. So one is called IAQ Associate, the second one is IAQ Engineer, and third one is IAQ Architect. Okay, so when you go through this training, you can sit for IAQ Associate exam. Okay, so you can only sit for IAQ Engineers exam once you have good working experience, 2 to 3 years. But still you can sit for the exam, but it will be little hard. But you can sit for the basic examination. And also, in order to sit for the exam, there is some path given by SailPoints. For they have some website, in the website where you apply for the certification, they have given you the path. So which path you need to go through in order to sit for the exam. So you need to go through that, because technical knowledge is different when compared to the certification exam. Okay,
Correct.
so when you sit for the exam, the kind of questions they will ask, right? So those questions are based on the training path they are giving. For example, I will tell you like how to log into SailPoint, what are the options available, what are the things to use, etc., etc. But the kind of questions they will ask in the exam is like, if you click on, let's say, home button, what are the options available? Or if you click on a particular drop down, so what are the menu options available? So these kind of things, obviously, we have to learn and memorize just for the sake of exam. But in real time, what happens if you simply click on drop down, you will have the details listed, and from the details only we will select one value. We will not by heart, right? So we will not by heart like, so these many drop downs are there, in each drop down these values are there. So we will not by heart like that. But for the exam, they will expect like that. So what you can do is, after going through this training, you can directly register for that associate exam. You can go through the path and you can understand what type of questions they're asking, what are the concepts they're expected for the exam part alone, and then you can give the exam. But the knowledge you will be getting in this training, that should be sufficient enough for associate.
And if
But
any help required, then you guys are always available, right?
yes, yes, of course.
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, my question is to know, are we going to implement Active Directory, right?
Your voice is not clear actually.
I was asking if we're going to set up like an AAD, Active Directory.
So your question is, are we going to set up Active Directory? Is it?
Yes, yes, to
No.
provision users from SailPoint and then to Active
See,
Directory.
I got your question. So we will be talking about provisioning, and I'll be telling you how to do provisioning and all with a practical example. But for our lab setup, we are not going to use Active Directory because Active Directory is difficult to set up and our system resource will not be sufficient enough. And on top of that, it is a licensed tool. Okay, so people who are familiar with Active Directory, who have working knowledge, they will understand it. But people who are not familiar with it, it's a burden for them to set up Active Directory and work with it. So that's why we are not using Active Directory as an example. We will be using a different example for that. We will be taking a different application. But if you are curious and if you are familiar with Active Directory, you can set it up on your own and you can practice it. Whatever may be the knowledge that is required for that, we will be providing you that. And if let's suppose if you are curious about Active Directory and you are setting it up, I will guide you with that. But that is not the agenda of the topic, but it's an additional help that I can provide if you are interested about it.
Okay, so in real time, many companies are using SailPoint combined with Active Directory. So if we're not gonna practice, I don't know how. Like if we get a job, we're gonna
Mhm.
face like a problem or issue because most of the companies they're talking about implement Active Directory with SailPoint.
Mhm.
I, I mean, that is what I noticed. Some of the job applications, they're asking you to implement, Active Directory with SailPoint. So if we're
Yes,
not going
yes.
to it will be difficult for us to know what's going on or to get
See,
an interview, something like that.
I got it. I got it. I'll answer your question. For example, your main question is like many organizations are using Active Directory and you're expecting to learn Active Directory as a part of this training, right? So what I can say is SailPoint have around 80 plus connectors. It means there is possibility that you can onboard 80 different types of applications. Okay. And given that you cannot learn all the 80 applications, right? You cannot learn the onboarding process for all 80 applications. So what we do is we will learn the general approach using some examples. So we will try to understand what do we mean by an application onboarding. So what are the things that we do as a part of that? Okay. And once that application onboarding is done, what I will do is I will give you the information and I'll also provide you the supporting documents in such a way that going forward, it is not just the applications that we are discussing in the lab. So any application that comes to you in future for onboarding purpose, you will be able to handle it. So that kind of support and that kind of information I will be providing to you. So SailPoint also have documentations for each and every type. So that documentation also I will tell you how to use it. So that it is not Active Directory, any other application that comes in future when in your workflow, you will know how to handle that. So this way we will handle it in a generalized way instead of going application specific. So that is what I was saying. So I don't want to train you in such a way that so when we are onboarding one application, you only know that particular application. It is like anything that comes in future, like you will be able to handle it. So that kind of information will be provided to you. Did I answer your question?
Yes, yes.
So, Kalyan, what are the connectors we'll be covering, Kalyan, in this session?
So we'll be covering the basic one, which is a delimited connector, and we will be using an database connector, DB direct connector. So these are the two major connectors that we'll be using as a part of this plan.
Okay.
Kalyan, what I was asking is that you require a database for this particular application. Are you going to also teach how to install the database, that is
Yes,
community addition and all?
yes, correct. I'll teach.
Okay.
Any other questions? But
So, hi Kalyan, this is Anil. So, do you teach web services also? Web services?
web service is not in the scope because in order to onboard a web service application, first of all, we need to have that web service. So it's altogether and separate application that we need to run. We need to expose this APIs. So we will be not having that resource. So that's why we'll not be covering web service. And web service is one of the advanced connectors. Okay, so as I was saying, so we are trying to keep it simple, and at the same time, we are trying to put it in such a way that the practice material and learning material is available to everyone. So by keeping that in mind, so web service is not included.
So, what about rules and workflows which are having? I mean, Java with
That
Java
will be
and Bean
covered.
Shell, right?
That will be covered, of course.
Okay, so development part will be covered, right?
Yeah, right, absolutely. That will be covered.
So usually more development will be, I mean, web services will be involved more development with the APIs,
It's
right? I
not
mean,
like development involves web services.
okay.
Development
Yeah.
involves your custom Java, your like
Custom Java rules
SailPoint
and
APIs,
workflows.
SailPoint related APIs they have provided.
Okay.
It's not like only if we have a like web services, we'll have development. It's not like that.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, guys, any questions further? So after this training, you'll be getting the course content. So go through that, and if you have any questions, we will also discuss that. Okay.
Okay. So by learning these concepts of variable loops, condition statements, oops, collection, try catch. So these are enough to manage SailPoint.
Yes, they are enough to manage SailPoint, but these topics must be learned thoroughly. It's not like you are just learning it. You have to practice it, and you clearly need to understand it.
Okay.
Even the concepts might be simple and basic, but understanding is required.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
So
Yeah.
what I saw is like even that's how I learned Java. So I learned it in a hardware. So we have a number of online trainings, and let's suppose if you are from computer science background, you will learn Java from your classroom itself. But the Java they teach you in classroom or the Java they tell you in theory is different from what you do in real time. So you have to
Okay.
practice it and learn it, and you need to clearly learn how to use it in real time. That should be enough.
Okay.
Even though it is basic, you need to learn it clearly. So that is what I'm expecting.
Okay. So, but the objects and classes will be different in SailPoint, right? That will be
No, no.
different.
First of all, you need to
Uh,
understand what is a class, what is an object,
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
how to create object, what exactly happens, how the objects behaves, how the memory allocation
Mm,
happens, how to use them, how to access them. All these things you
mm.
need to learn clearly. So that should
Okay.
be sufficient enough.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So we are over time for 13 minutes. Okay, so thanks again for joining this demo session. So once you get the course content, go through it and to come up with your questions. So we will discuss them and we will take it forward accordingly. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
So what is the next step, Kalyan? Like we have to register and then next class will be there or?
Yes.
Okay.
So those details, Srinivas will coordinate with you. You can reach out to him for the next steps to be followed.
Okay. Got it.
Okay,
Thank
yes.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, Kalyan.